Hi, how are you, Caramel Author? Hi, Gamar, how are you? Hey, El Gray, how are you? It is a happy Sunday. Welcome to Survivor's Jewelz. Okay, so we are going to start in just a moment. I'm waiting for our special guest to come on tonight. So I'm so excited to share his story with you guys. So stay tuned. I can't wait till he gets on the line. Hey, Alfonso, how are you? How are you guys today? How's your Sundays going? How is your Sunday going? Hey, Britt, how are you? Hi, Flavia. Flavio, how are you? Hey. Just waiting for our special guest to come on. And welcome everyone to another edition of Survivor Jewels. I'm super excited. Our special guest has arrived. Awesome. Tennessee is online. Hi, Alejandro and him. Team Nelson, how is everybody? We're going to get on with our special guest. It's another amazing episode of Survivor Jewels. So stay tuned. I am so excited. Okay, here we go. We're just waiting for our guests to come online. How are you? Oh my
Hi.
goodness.
How's it going?
It's going well. Can you hear me?
I brought the glitter for you.
I love the glitter. You know I love the pizzazz, okay?
Yes.
The pizzazz has to gotta
Ah!
pop.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to be doing
I'm
this.
so excited to have you on Survivor
Ah,
Shows today. Oh my goodness. It's been a long time coming. Your story is so phenomenal, and I'm just really thankful that you trust us to share it today.
yes,
So I
yes.
mean, this is definitely a first for me doing this type of story. And I'm
Oh.
so excited. I mean, my goodness, to be a survivor of a war is a different type of survival story,
And
right?
there's so many
There's so
layers,
many
like
layers.
because
There
it's
really
it's like
are.
it's like surviving a war, then coming to another country and surviving that. Like, so it's almost a war in a whole nother like a whole nother caliber.
Exactly.
It's been a journey. I am thankful and blessed for every step of the way because I've been getting those God winks 24 life. Um,
Right. Yes, you have. You truly have. The
oh,
synchronicities that's going on have been, phenomenal. But before we even get into that,
okay.
let's get into who you are. So this is another episode of Survivor Schools. We have our amazing guest tonight, Tennessee, who I'm super excited. Say hello to our wonderful audience. We have so many great people on
Hello.
the line.
Hello, world, and hello to all these beautiful jewels and gems out there. Um,
We
my
have a
name
lot
is
of great people on, commenting. I'm like, oh wow, awesome. So
my name is Tennessee. I am 31 years old. I know I don't look it.
there you
Um,
go.
neither do you. You I am originally from West Africa, Liberia. I came here in 1996, escaping the civil war that happened with my mom and my sister. I am currently living a life as an artist. I am a makeup artist. I am a beauty consultant. I do a lot in
You
like
do.
in my field. So it's a blessing to do what I'm doing and to be on the journey on a constant and to connect with people. That's why Kendra, I love what you do because I feel like we're in the same business, but where
Yes,
yours is like inside out, mine is like from the outside in. So
absolutely.
like that's why I feel like we are like we're kindred spirits.
We really are, truly are. And to give a little background about Tennessee, not only is he just phenomenal, but I mean, we met years ago. You did my makeup for one of my college graduations,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
And I mean, we just clicked, and over time, life has brought us back. I've seen you again at a car wash.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you. We find each other. and God puts us together for a purpose.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
And
so
we know, and it's like it never skips a beat for a reason, you
it
know?
never does.
Even
It
if it's
truly
just a
doesn't.
hello, even if it's just a hello.
Exactly. It's always positive vibes. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why is because you have such a story of survival. You have so much inside of you because of all that you've went through. Just a little bit about your story. I know you had told me, and I would love for you to share this with the audience about your mom and how she was able to come here
Oh yeah.
under extreme circumstances
Yes,
and be able
yes.
to progress to a phenomenal level.
Like
Um,
PhD in administrative studies. Like honestly, I always feel like my survival story is not really even my story, it's my mother's story.
Correct.
Like she's the one who, made the decision when I was 1.5 and the war was actually happening in like it broke out in 1990. And so I was about 1.5, and my mom made the decision to have me and my sister kind of separate. My sister was living moved to America because she was an American-born citizen. I was not born in America, so my mom had to make a decision to have both of her kids separate, and
Wow.
also make a decision to leave her kids in the care of friends and family. So
So
I
what is
ended
this
up
situation? Not to go, but what is this? What was it like? What have you been? What have you heard? What have you felt or seen? As far as what picture can we paint in our minds about this type of conflict? Because I mean, I'm not aware of what this would even look like beyond just a movie.
right, right.
Honestly, and I think a lot of us
I
have
mean,
that.
it really kind of like is a movie in itself.
Right.
'Cause imagine like a war-torn Liberia, like where the president has been like killed, and like you
Gotcha.
are, and like there's just uprising because there's a rebel faction that's trying to kind of dismantle the administration,
Okay.
and so pretty much it was just kind of like survival of like your like where are you from, like pretty much walking through the country is like where are you from, there are checkpoints making sure that you're going to the right place and all these things, so it's very restricted, and also you but the funny thing is that through all this I was safe the entire time because
Hmm.
my mother made the decisions that she did. There were a lot of like when the war broke out, like it was evacuate all U.S. citizens. So that's why my
Okay.
sister had to come to the States.
Understood.
And so after that, I'm half Ghanaian, so I was able to go to Ghana.
Now,
And
now, curious when you say Ghana, because I do understand that Ghana is an amazing place that a lot of people have migrated in essence over to from all other countries
hmm
in essence. So that is definitely interesting because and that probably was part of what allowed you to move freer
yeah,
because of you being from Ghana as well.
yes, yes. Like
Hmm.
I'm so glad that I was like I'm half because my dad's Ghanaian,
Okay.
and or Ghanaian. Let me
Ghanaian.
say
Okay.
Ghanaian, because Lord knows if anyone's watching, it's like, well, she's not from.
Right.
He's not from Ghana.
He's not.
He's not Ghanaian.
But he is.
But um, so living over there, I felt like I was living this fantasy life of like I was living with a pastor and his wife. And I went to a church. I went to a school, and I went to church constantly there. And like, so my connection with God and like and just faith really started at a really young age because I feel that you need faith when you're like in the wilds by yourself,
Right.
and I'm
Exactly.
2 years old, like, so all I have is a pet goat and a farm, a a pastor and his wife, and and I remember making like this like amazing aromatic tea. Like there's just so many like lush and fun feelings that I had in Ghana. But not even funny. I need to stop saying funny because it's not funny. the the most interesting part is, and I honestly I want you to speak to my sister after this. Like,
Okay.
I want this to be. I want you to like talk to my whole family because
Okay.
like I have
I'm
like
here for
I
it.
have one side of it, and they have like other sides of it. You know, it's a child like my sister, a girl, well, a baby plucked from Africa to move to America, and she traveled by herself with a stranger who was by luck going to the same house where my uncle was staying.
Oh, wow.
And so she ended up like, you know, moving to America, like coming to America, and then a whole lot of things happened where then she ended up moving to like Stuyvesant. And it was just really tough for her because like being a young African child, you're not treated the best, especially in the early 90s.
I agree
Like,
with that. I agree with that.
and she, you
Yes.
know, she'd had rocks thrown at her.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot going on. And meanwhile, I'm
Mm-hmm.
living this like, you know, life of, of, of a
A
young kid,
privilege, in
of
essence.
privilege. And yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much like
Mm-hmm.
compared to my sister. Yes. And my mom was working for Catholic Charity at the time. So she was
Okay.
working with the, army or whatever, Marines,
Mm-hmm.
whoever's deployed out there.
Okay.
So she was working with them to make sure people were being fed, people had clothes, people had like things like because with war, you like you know she was on kind of on the front lines,
So
like
your mom had, so let's back it up for the audience
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
So you're now separated from your mother.
Mhm,
Let's take it even further
mhm.
for those who are just joining us. So you're coming in to a very risk, a very shaky political. You're in a shaky political climate,
Mhm.
and at this point, your mother has to make a decision to flee with her two children, yourself and your sister.
Mhm.
Your sister is it's such a rush. It sounds as though this happened overnight, in
Overnight.
essence. Okay,
Overnight.
and just like any type of overnight thing, you don't have time to prepare. And if
No.
you were not prepared, you better get yourself prepared. And
Mhm.
so at that point, your mother was able to take your sister uh, just by chance to giving her your sister to a stranger in
Mhm.
hopes that she would make it to a family member who was able to take care of her. But
Mhm.
she took a huge risk at doing so
Mhm.
because she didn't know if the stranger was to be trusted. It's a
Right.
stranger, right?
Right.
But that just shows the desperation that you were going through, your
Oh
family was
yeah.
going through at the
Oh
time.
yeah.
And yourself, you were able to, and your sister was only able to go because of her citizenship.
Mhm.
Okay. Because you have a different citizenship, you had to go to another place. So that is a lot of ripping from your
Yeah.
mother of her children to
Yeah.
have to separate them when they've always been together. And
Especially
to,
when they were like one and a half and two. Like
right.
your kids aren't even developed in a way. Like we're still like nursing and learning to even walk. So that in itself, like I still to this day get like very emotional, like
Yeah.
thinking about the decisions that my mom had to make, like for us to be safe. And also makes me think of the decisions that a lot of mothers have to make just for their kids to be safe. And I think that's why I'm such in this field that I work in as a makeup artist. I'm
Mhm.
such an advocate for women, and I don't like to say in distress because, but
Mhm.
yes, I am an advocate for women in distress, like because that's where the gift that I was given to live because of the wings of my mother.
Yes.
I want to make sure that I want to make sure I can raise women up under that wing that I still hold like in high regards.
It's almost like you're giving back in a way. It's a way of generationally giving back.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother was able to eventually come here,
Mm-hmm.
to the States and be
Oof,
able
and that
to.
story.
Yeah, I love to hear that story, and because you having to deal with the residual of your family who has went through this, and know those who went through it at a longer period, who are
Mm-hmm.
older, who remember it
Mm-hmm.
even more so, like your
Mm-hmm.
mother or your sister, right?
Right.
Because she had and she had a dual experience because she,
Right.
so there's, like you said, there's so many facets to your
Right.
story and so many layers to it. And we will definitely not get to it all in one setting, but
Right.
we will definitely get to it, because
Yes.
I think it's very fascinating when someone comes over to another country with nothing. Okay.
Oof.
And all the odds stacked against them, especially someone coming over as an African. Okay. There is, there is, I would say, not much of a harder situation to come into, and then to be able to progress to PhD status and to work amongst and to contribute so much as she has to
Right.
society.
Right.
It's really just shows how when given a chance, people can still make a great contribution.
Mind you,
Okay.
she was rocking 2 masters before that.
Okay, see, and that's another thing. You when you come over to another country, a lot of, if you don't have your paperwork in order and all of that, some of those things don't transfer over.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I've known doctors who have been doctors in their home country, and they come over here, and now they're working at something menial because
My
they're
mom
just
started off
trying to
as
escape.
a teacher's aide. Like
Wow.
like she started as a teacher's aide because our paperwork didn't come in until like I think 3-4 years later, and then it was just such a weird catch up because she noticed that no matter every time she sounds intelligent, all this, her accent was always the first thing people would hear first. And then like it was just so hard. But the reason why she was a teacher's aide was so me and my sister could have a Catholic school education though. Like
Okay, gotcha.
she's a very strategic woman in that way. If she's gonna sacrifice something, it's going to be for a greater purpose.
And she's a strong woman. I mean, my goodness, to raise you, and you have such a phenomenal spirit. It is a beautiful, glowing spirit, and everybody around you feels the same light. I know it. I know it because I know people who know you. So, I know that your mother has just really transferred to you the best energy, and that energy is to transform, because that's what she's done. She's been transforming herself, and she's been in turn transforming you into bringing in this giving back spirit, right? You have a spirit of giving back.
That
This is
pay it
this is almost
forward.
like the residual from your
Right.
mother, right? You're honoring her because you've seen her struggle, and it's because you've seen it in the way that you have. I think that it's affected you in an even stronger way, because now, I mean, you do so much, and even in the community, helping women who have been through the hardest of situations, you make them feel beautiful, and a lot of those things are just a gratuitous of you. It's just you're using your time to make sure you're imparting your love and knowledge into these women of how to really take care of themselves in a higher light. So, I mean, I do love what you're doing. Now, I have a question about going through this type of traumatic experience, and especially in dealing with the family who's also been structured in this way, to whereas they have this looming history of being in a war-torn country, right? So now you're coming in a family who is used to or kind of not used to in essence, but they've been traumatized. So there's no way that a little bump is not going to hit you, right?
Right.
Because they're going to have some fears that I may not have because I haven't been through that. So what are some of the fears and challenges that you've experienced when growing up in a household when after everybody was able to come together in America, and you were all three of you able to be in the same setting? Were there any like fears that you that were projected?
There was a disconnect
Okay.
in a way, and because after 5 years, my mom came for me from Ghana, and then my sister came back to America. Then the war broke out again in '95. Because there was
Also, hold on, it happened twice.
twice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
There was like kind of like a still moment. But then when the war happened again, my sister was here. This time my mom kind of was like, okay, I can't do this again. I can't separate my kids again because we've only been together for less than like almost 2 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
so there's no way that like she wants that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we then sorry, I hear something.
I
Oh,
hear water.
yeah, I hear water too.
I do.
Um,
Well, we'll know when we hear, if you see something on your feet, then,
I
you know,
know.
I hope you turned everything off.
Wait, give me 2 seconds. It'll take two
Yeah,
seconds. Okay.
quick break, guys. So this is a great story of survival. I really, really appreciate Tennessee's vulnerability, because I don't have experience with being in a war-torn country, in essence, and to that extent. And I'm not sure of you guys, those in the audience who had that same type of experience, but it's always interesting to gather the the perception of those who have been into these types of situations. What are these types of challenges and fears that occur when you go through, when your family goes through the traumatic experience? Or there's something that trickles down to you? Is there, when you're around that type of energy of people who have been through this, what happens? Do they tell you not to go out at night? Or is it just, are you feeling like they're being super overprotective? How does your family react and deal with you after experience? Is there anything different that you would think, compared
That's
to other children that you've seen? You
that's
know what I mean?
actually that's actually very interesting because my mom, like everywhere we moved, she wanted to make sure we moved near like a police station.
Okay, so that's interesting.
So she like or somewhere that was very close to a highway to like for like she just wanted like an escape plan. She was always there was always a
Hmm.
strategy for escape. Um,
Right,
and
right.
and then also with the fact that she wasn't around a lot though, there was that energy of I want my kids to like explore who they are. I want them to be happy, like because there's this like African like like usual standard of I want my child to go to school, become a doctor, this and that, and
I have
especially
now that's interesting that you say that. So there's some people who I'm sure don't know that. So that is an African standard, and that
hmm
I've heard this many a time too. And you were saying to go into the highest level of education
hmm
possible and
hmm
become.
become a leading professional.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
and with that, my mother just kind of was like, live your life, be happy. It's not like I can't dictate it for you. I can't like make you into something that I became. And I would have loved to become like a doctor or something like that, but I have an artistic passion, like and
Mhm.
she knew that, and she was very supportive of every decision that I made because she knew that I was not just gonna make it like I was not gonna go through it like with a light foot, like
Understood.
So and because she is my mother, and I always say like I'm a product of a PhD.
Yes, you
I
are.
so my intellect is not something that I have studied. It's something that I grew up with.
Yes, I
So
love that.
yeah.
I love it. I really, really enjoy you telling that part of the story as well, because it shows how important education is. People have, some people downplay it, and of course, life experience is very important. However,
hmm
having that educational background is
hmm
also duly important,
Yeah.
and it shows and it pours out in a lot of different ways when you don't try to at least uh, educate yourself in some type of capacity to
hmm
where you're growing.
hmm
Personal growth is essential, and I
hmm
think that it really shows with how you have come out and to be a celebrity makeup artist, have your own makeup salon, have your own way of giving back as
Hmm.
well, and showing love to the woman that reminds you of your mother, right?
And
Um,
I always tell myself I may not get a master's like my mom. May not get two like my mother, but I can definitely become a master of something, you know?
exactly, exactly.
And that to me is like why I would say I am a master technician as a makeup artist. I am, you know, when it comes to styling and all that, I make sure to put my all in it and study it
Hmm.
and really like make sure that the value of something that I'm putting in is going to be as superior as the higher end situation. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm. Agreed. I totally agree with you. And I think that, um, again, it really is about personal development. And you've educated yourself in a way of the arts.
Hmm.
You've been into the makeup field for over 10 years, strong, actually over, I think, what, 13, 15 years,
About 13
pretty,
years.
yeah,
About 13
pretty.
years.
Right, and you've been studying, you've been taking you've been taking classes, you have been making sure that you're elevating yourself, and so
Hmm.
you still taking the mom route, in essence, of still mastering your craft,
Right.
right?
Right.
Whatever that is, you've mastered it,
Right.
and I think that that's what all she really wanted for you was to master your craft, which is
Hmm.
what you've done, is to
Hmm.
elevate.
Hmm.
So I truly know she has to be proud of you, because
Oh,
I'm proud of
like
you, and everybody's proud of you.
every
So
single second
I mean,
she talks to her friends. She's like, here's his card, here's here's she's and then every time I talk to someone I know and I'm like, here's her card. So like we're literally just like giving, you know, each other's we're our biggest cheerleaders for each other, you know,
exactly.
and that is, and that to me is so rewarding because I can, I love to sit with my mom and just talk and like talk about everything, talk about anything, and to be, you know, to be creative and to have a mother who is a little reserved, like, but
Mhm.
she's very like worldly. I I have to say I enjoy every second I have with this woman. Like, even though, you know, moms are moms, but like, you know.
Yeah, right. But you know that, you understand the value that your mother brings,
Yes,
and I
yes.
think that that is a is huge, because if you don't understand the value that your parents are bringing to you, then you can't really take that and take that energy from it, because you haven't recognized it. But
Right.
because you've recognized the greatness,
You can't truly value life if you don't value the life that was the people who gave you the life.
right?
Like,
Correct.
because then there's no absolute in your development, because then you are just going on a blank slate, and we are not blank slates. We are carved by our matriarchs, our patriarchs, and we are made in their design by a bigger design, you know.
Agreed. And even if and even if your parents aren't who you may have wanted them to be, they're people.
They
And
still
I think,
forge who you are.
correct, they're people who forge who you are, and they're people who, we have to understand, they are just people. Some people get so upset about their parents, what they did and didn't do, and they use it as a crutch for themselves for the rest of their lives, and they either take the energy and they're either positive, or they're not. And
Right.
I think that, you've taken all of the positive traits from your mother. You've taken all of the positive energy. You've taken the value from everything that she's done, as opposed to, if there were anything that a parent hadn't done, where on the flip side, you see a lot of children taking that energy and saying, well, my mom didn't do that, my dad didn't
Mm-hmm.
do, and they could have been breaking their back for them. But it just shows the integrity and the foundation that you
Mm-hmm.
stand upon, because you're looking at it from a very, very clear place, and you're seeing that your mother has really truly provided for your family. Your
Mm-hmm.
mother has made it through insurmountable, it seems seemingly insurmountable
Oh,
circumstances.
girl,
I mean, come
it is a
on.
well. It is a well, honey. I could go. We could go for 2 hours, but
Yeah,
and it would just be her, and
it
that's why.
would.
Yeah, yeah.
So what now, tell me now, how do you feel about telling your story to other people? Do you feel like you have been, because I feel like we're just now getting into the gist of your story. Like, it's not like something you wear on your sleeve. Like,
Right.
I've been through this.
Right.
This is something that is a big thing for you to share.
You know,
Honestly,
the funny
that's
thing
how I
is
feel.
with my name, because it's Tennessee, Tinisee, a lot of people are always like, that's an interesting name. So it kind of opens up like the channel to kind of
Mhm.
share my story with somebody, because then it's like, well, it's a Liberian name, I'm from Liberia, like, you know, and then they're like, oh, how did you get here? So the story is very therapeutic for me.
Okay.
Like when I'm doing someone's makeup and like I'm really just like talking to them, and then they want to ask about my life, and then I just start to like share, and then it's therapeutic because I'm letting go of a pain that I had. I'm letting go of something, and to do that for 13 years really allows me to look beyond myself, because I
Mhm.
know that I can now just like, you know, I can breathe because I allowed someone into my pages. I allowed someone into a chapter of my life that is really hard for me. If I didn't have my art, or I didn't have like my, if I didn't have the like the what I could, my gift, I
Mhm.
I probably would be like a therapist.
Listen, you surely would be. I feel like you're very easy to talk to, and those who know you, and I'm sure that our audiences are, they get that same feeling of your great, amazingly positive and bright energy. And the fact that you give off this light really helps to bring out the light in others. And it makes them feel comfortable sharing their story with you. So you really do have a healing property about the way that you live, you conduct yourself, the integrity. Like, you know, just speaking with you yesterday, for those that are not aware, of course, I didn't say this yet, but Tennessee did my makeup for an amazing photo shoot yesterday as well. And, you know, just speaking to you and understanding your true values was very refreshing to me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because the values that you stand upon are it's they're hard values, because you're not operating in a manner where you're not disciplined. You're always disciplined. You know, you're always making sure that you're giving your best. You're always on a mission to serve and to make sure you're giving the most quality of services, you know, and not only within your job, your current, you know, what you're doing as a makeup artist, but just
Mm-hmm.
as a person. You know, everything you do has really just it's all about quality, and
And
that makes a
and
big difference
and it
because your
wasn't
foundation
there.
is quality.
And it wasn't there for a while. You
Hmm.
know, for a while it was kind of like hidden, because
Hmm.
I thought that I had to, you know, impress. I thought I had to always give these like like superstar cheerleader quality experiences. But then when I realized like to hone in myself and to kind of like treasure my qualities for
Hmm.
myself, and this is where faith actually takes like the wheel, because I had this moment where I prayed daily, I read daily, I you know, I like when I was by myself, I was not by myself. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I remember. Yeah.
Like and so it really opened me up, and like it channeled something bigger than me, and the doors just kind of just like flung open and I just accepted, like, you know, the fact that I'm here for a reason. I'm not like, you know, and that took me a while. And the ironic thing is that my name is Ecclesiastes 3, Tennessee.
Wow.
There's a time for everything under the sun. So that is the name that was given by my grandmother. And you know, it just
Say that
links
one more time. There's a time for everything
under the sun.
under the sun.
Yeah,
Oh wow, I love that.
true translation, there's two, because there's two tribes that carry my name. It's
Mhm.
time never passes, and there's a time for everything. So Tennessee.
I love that. See, I have to write notes for everything.
I like that. No, I'm like, oh, are you serious?
Nerd.
Listen, I can't get rid of it, but I'm with you.
All right, guys. All right, so all right. Let's talk about your new projects you have coming up, because I'm excited about that. I feel like you've really turned all of any pain you've had into a passion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have made, you will make wine out of grapes. And
Girl,
you will,
I'll make wine out of lemonade.
you will, you make magic. So tell me a little bit about tell us about some of the upcoming projects
Okay.
that you have going on.
So now I am like, partnering with Blowout Lounge and Color Bar in Hamilton to have
New Jersey. So
in
you're at
Hamilton, New Jersey.
Below
Uh,
Lounge and Color Bar, Hamilton, New Jersey.
you click my
Mm-hmm.
link, you click my account, you'll see everything.
Absolutely.
I'm really trying to develop like a culture of beauty and education, because I feel that to educate is paramount in beauty, because if you know what to do, you don't have to come to me to empower yourself. And also, like, I mean, I'm doing some other projects I can't talk about, but
Right.
but they're really fun, and I can't wait till they come out. And today, so many things. So today, I actually finished coaching a aspiring model, giving her all the tools and everything that she needs to become a successful model in the market that she wants. And so, like, that to me is like very important.
Yes.
Hold on one second. This water thing is coming. You hear it
Okay.
still?
Yeah, it's okay. But
Okay.
you go ahead and handle that, because I'm gonna talk while you do that.
Okay.
So one thing I will say about Tennessee is definitely the fact that he is about quality. He's about giving value, and I think that it's important to keep that in mind when you think about somebody going through a survival story, because it can go either way. When you go through something very traumatic, it could come to a point where you don't feel as though you want to give your best, because you feel like you've been through too much and it's all about you. And it's a total, you really see a person's true personality, and you see the difference with someone like Tennessee, who has taken the energy of defeat that was trying to come and kind of swallow him whole and his family, and they've all manifested positivity. They manifested blessings from this despair that they were going through. So it really just shows the perseverance, and how he has really made the decision and taken the path of greatness, as opposed to taking the path of despair. And I think a lot of times we need to take in consideration these survival stories when we're going through our hard times, because life is about ebbs and flows. And when we go through our ebbs, we need to remember there's survivors that have been through it, and they've made their path be something that is of greatness, as opposed to of defeat. So there's the difference when someone takes their circumstances and uses it to elevate, as opposed to taking those circumstances and just saying, you know what, I give up, or utilizing this energy in a very selfish way. That's not what Tennessee does. As we see, he's giving back. And these are the types of survival stories I love to hear, because it's about us showing love and hope, right? We're showing that no matter what the situation is, we can persevere if we endure and keep fighting through these adversities. So I'm so very excited for you. Amen. And I'm so very excited for you, because, you've been through so much, but you still have this energy of wanting to help. And like you were saying, you're helping aspiring models. You understand that your gift is in redevelopment. You're redeveloping a person's total confidence within themselves, outwardly as well as inwardly.
That's it.
Okay, because they were looking to they weren't feeling themselves, in essence, whatever that was. And you're making them feel some type of semblance of balance within their lives.
And to give them the tools, and also the resources, and also my skill set, because I'm also I'm doing this shoot with her. I'm making sure she's styled properly, giving her every single Tennesseeism, just so she can really be in her lane, and that to me is rewarding, because and she's young, and I see the passion, and I see her light, and that's why I want her to get it, achieve it, and just, you know, and know that that's like a charisma boosting thing. It's going to make sure she's networking properly, like, because I want to make sure when she's only 19, so when she gets into like the world when she graduates from college, because I told her this is your part-time job, like, you
Right.
know, so like you can design your own world however you want to, because you know how to network and you know how to command attention.
Well,
And
what you're giving her, what I would say, Tennessee, to surmise what you're giving her is a vision, right? You're
yes,
helping her to cultivate her vision. And I think that that's the push here, is to cultivate a clear vision that can be followed through with tenacity. And I think that,
ah,
you know, it's all about tenacity. If you don't
I
have,
love
if you're
that
not
word.
following it with vigor, then don't do it, right?
Yes.
So, you know, I think it's wonderful that you're giving her this semblance of a vision so she can follow through. And so I would also recommend, as you know, a vision board,
Yes.
to make it really solidify in her mind that this is, you
True.
know, what's her path look like
Right.
fully, because she has a lot going on. And what you're
Right.
doing is you're very good with directing. You're very good with helping her to cultivate this new path, because that's
Mm-hmm.
what you're giving people. And this is the thing about people. When we talk to people, we could potentially be opening up a new path to our lives, a new
Mm-hmm.
doorway,
Mm-hmm.
what could be not just with speaking with you, it could be just a friend of a friend. It could be your
Right.
model, you know, somebody who looks on your page and then they notice the model that you're speaking about. And then they say, well, you know what? This is somebody I may want to book for this particular shoot. This is how life happens. This is the
Mm-hmm.
synchronicities
Mm-hmm.
that occur in
Mm-hmm.
life. And you don't know
Mm-hmm.
it until you actually talk to people, and
Yes.
you find your kindred spirit tribe, which, oh, thank goodness we have. Thank
Yes.
goodness we have it.
Yes. 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 I love
So, you
that.
know, it's important to have that feeling, because you understand that the people that are coming in contact with you, they're coming in contact with you for a greater purpose, right? They're not only shaping their vision, you're also subsequently shaping your vision on this, you know, not understanding you're shaping it, you're shaping it your own, as far as figuring out what direction you want to go with you making over these women. I mean, I really see you I'm going to wait to tell you what I see. I'm going to actually wait and give it just to you.
Yes.
um,
Yes.
so, you know, this is something that can definitely be utilized for not only your greater good for personal development, but just also to help so many other women and men and people in general to see a different path, right?
Mm-hmm.
And open up a new door for
Mm-hmm.
them that they never knew existed. And you're just like, thank you, Tennessee. You
To
open
see
up
their
this door.
greatness, to see their
Yes.
greatness, like
Yes.
exceed your potential, because that's what we're here to do. Like, you know, and that's why I love you so much. Like, because you literally like are a personification of exceeding potential. And I appreciate that, because you're able to see the potential in a young lady, and know that there's greatness like behind those eyes, you know, and you just unlock them for her, because that's a gift, and that's something that a lot of people cannot do. It's selfless, it's magnificent, it's you.
Aw, you're so sweet.
It's true.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's so sweet of you. I'm so thankful. I really am. You know, glory to God, because, you know, none of this is me. It's all, you know, God's love shining through. And
Mhm.
that's what this is about. We're here to shine the light on God's love and how we're able to make a difference utilizing those principles of love and of kindness, of servitude, right? Of giving. So I think that it's really imperative that we have these types of talks. And I'm
Right.
so excited to speak with your mother and your
Yes, I
sister. We
cannot
have
wait.
to get them back on
Oh,
and
yes.
have a wonderful structured, you know, meeting, in essence,
Yes.
meeting of the minds, because
Yes.
Miss Double Master PhD. I am already enamored by her.
Double
I mean, she's
master's
amazing,
PhD and
and to go
working
through
on
so
her a
much.
certification in divinity.
Wow. And I that right there is already something that I'm very, very interested in, because it just shows that she's been guided by a higher power as well. So I'm so excited, and I'd love to ask you where people can find you at.
Oh, well, now if you click on they can click on here like and see me after this, right? I think so.
Well, I'm going to put a link
Okay,
definitely
perfect.
into our talk.
All right.
And so, yeah.
So my Instagram is tmb_nj if you want to see my work. And I have links to everything on that Instagram in my bio. Neonfix.com is one of my creative hubs. And so you'll see everything. So just tmb_nj just to check me out and see what I do.
Love it. Love it. And I'm so, so excited for you. I'm thrilled. I'm excited to be working with you. And, I really, truly believe that what you're doing is for a higher power. I know we talked about some collaborative efforts in order to give back. So I'm super excited about that. And so, I'd just love to leave the audience with a little message from you. What's something that you'd like to leave and share with the audience? Maybe something inspirational, could be just something personal. What's something that you could think of that you'd like to say?
There's always a down, but remember, when there's a down, there's an up. And so never forget that moment of surrender is just an opportunity to know that you're getting closer to your purpose.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Amen. See, you know what? I might have to.
You got to watch this video again.
Yes, I'm gonna have to watch it again, because those words were so powerful. They're spirited words in essence, and that's what it is when you're speaking positivity into the world, to the universe.
And I knew you were gonna pull those words out of me. Like I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, she's gonna pull something real good out of me.
That'll come with the inquisitive questions and stuff. And I feel like you've left everyone with a very, very inspiring message. You are leaving, you're leaving in essence a legacy of excellence. And so I'm so proud of you. I'm thankful for you to come on to Survivor Jewelz this evening. And I am
honored.
So excited. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tennessee, you want to say your...
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Guys.
I appreciate it. Sorry about the noise in the back. I gotta go yell at my neighbors.
Bye, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Tennessee.
No problem. Bye.
All right. Take care.